difference in order to give a constant, reliable, and proactive support to our farmers. Please. Go ahead. Here you can see some picture of our legends working in Africa. Please. And coming to Somalia, we can say that we have started last year a cooperation with a company that is a Moomin Group that we have, let's say, we have known thanks to UNIDO. So I thank again to the UNIDO team for the link and the support. And after that, we can say that in 2024 we have delivered the first units to the market. Please go ahead. That are, let's say, positioned in the range between 75 and 90 horsepower. Please go ahead. The next step is to introduce higher range of tractors. So tractors above 100 horsepower in order to give an even additional value to Somali farmers. So for anything, we are here at your disposal, me and Dr. Abdulwali, that he can join to me, in order to answer at your questions and in order to, of course, support the local community with our range of tractors. Abdulwali.
waa mahadsantihiin. waa siduu idiin sheegay saaxiibkeen annagaa wakiilo ah maadaama asiga English oo ku hadlay inta ugu badan Soomaali ay joogto. waxaa kaloo aan announcement maanta ku sameynayna u sheegaynaa shacabkeena. markii hore waxaan keeni jirnay 75 ilaa 90, laakiin hadda waxaan keenaynaa insha Allah in ka badan 100 horsepower oo 2025 aan rabnay inaan soo gelino suuqa. waxaan si gaar ah uga mahadcelinaynaa wasaaradda beeraha iyo UNIDO iyo dhammaan ka soo qaybgalayaashana si gaar ah u salaaminaa. waa mahadsantihiin.
Question to Argo Tractors, if there are specific maybe to the cost, we've suggested to go to the stand as well, so that also there are more technical questions. Otherwise, we move to the next speaker, is Ahmed Abdulkadir Jama from Target Agro. And I don't see the speaker. Otherwise, we move to the next speaker, the last one actually, Andrea Magnano from Nabu.
Thank you, everybody. My name is Andrea Magnano, and I'm the CEO of a group of companies from Italy specialized in irrigation and water management. Let's see if the presentation, okay. So next one, please. So we are a company based in Italy with 50 years of experience in irrigation and water management. We're a group of companies actually, and we already have a presence in Africa because we have a small factory in Zambia where we produce the center pivots for the local demand. Next one, please. So we are specialized in irrigation at 360 degrees. We manufacture drip irrigation systems, fittings, systems for filtration, pumping solutions also for small-scale farmers which need solar pumps. And we also develop center pivots and drip irrigation systems for small-scale farmers. Along with this line of solutions for medium and small-scale farms, we also have large-scale and commercial farmers which need, for example, center pivots. Next one, please. Apart from this company manufacturing hardware and machines and components for irrigation, we also have a technological company called Nabu, which basically develops IoT solutions, remote sensing, therefore satellite images. And with this company, we have several customers also in Africa, not only cooperatives of small farmers, but also some projects that go with governments and ONG. Just to let you know, four projects that we carried out in Africa. one project, Canal Sugar, Egypt. We're talking about a very, very big private project involving 80,000 hectares of farmland in the middle of the desert. For this company, basically we create all the technological support and the platform to use on just one computer 1,267 center pivots and 300 pumps. Everything in just one platform, combined with remote sensing solutions, satellite images, and sensors for soil moisture. So we're talking about large-scale private project. Then we go Farm Block Zambia, large-scale project, talking about public. So for Zambia and for the Zambian army, basically we conducted a very large study on millions of hectares to actually develop the production of agricultural products for the army. This is the result. 2014, 2015, the project started. The army of Zambia, basically they were buying food from other countries or from farmers. In 5 years, the army, the Zambian National Air Force, started to sell agricultural products because we established several farms conducted by the army in several parts of the country. So, second project, public project. Third project, Lake Model Project, Uganda. In Uganda, basically we conducted a study also here on million of hectares in which we designed very small irrigation systems for small scale farmers. So basically we were conducting a survey on millions of hectares, dividing these million of hectares in very small plots like 10 hectares, 20 hectares and so on, and for each of these hectares we were basically advising where to take water from, and we were also advising on how much water, which kind of crop they could use. For the project that I was mentioning before in Zambia, which actually led to Mutanda Farm expansion in Zambia, 2 years ago, we started, and we were, the first one, apart from the companies in South Africa, to actually have a factory in Zambia manufacturing mechanized irrigation components directly in Zambia for the local market. So this means that if you are a farmer, for example in Zimbabwe or in Malawi, you want to purchase a center pivot, you can choose. You can buy from Europe, you can buy from America, you can buy from South Africa, or you can buy a product with the Italian technology, because all the technology, of course, is made in Italy, but the structure, the main components is manufactured by a local company, which means that the money stays local. Next one, please. I think we are done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So with this, we close the set of presentation. The companies that are here today, they were identified, and also thanks to the support of the UNIDO ITPO network in Germany and Rome. So I'd like to thank also the colleague Dino and Andreas that helped identify those companies, and the European Union, of course, that also support the organization of this conference, allowing also for this event to place and this delegation to come and organizing the meetings to the stands that over the course of the tomorrow and the rest of the day today will be available to meet during in the fair era. So thank you again. Thank you for listening to the presentation, and I give the floor to our speaker. Mohamed.
Thank you so much, Igor. If you could kindly give me my little note, that would be good. We're coming to the really last part of the day. I know it has been long with some delays in the morning, but I think it is useful actually to complete it thoroughly, the program. The only thing that's outstanding for the day is EU facility value chains analysis for development, a video that will be shared by a presenter, Olimpia Orlandini, Director of Value Chain for Development. I would like to ask the media to
description of the VC to understand how it works and how it is organized, identifying its structure and key elements including the products involved, the actors and their functions, the flows linking those actors, and the VC's organization and governance. These elements help to define the typology of actors, subchains, and delimit the geographic scope and the timeframe for the analysis. Information on the main market trends and strategic challenges of VC development is also provided. Then, the experts are in position to move on to economic, social and environmental analyses, working in parallel but in consultation with each other and referring always to the functional analysis to answer the four framing questions. What is the VC's contribution to economic growth? The economist looks at questions including how profitable and sustainable are the VC's activities for the actors? What is the value added by the VC across the whole national economy? How does it contribute to national GDP and agricultural GDP? How does the VC affect the national public finances and the balance of trade? Is the VC viable and competitive in relation to the global economy? How and why do the VC subchains perform differently? Is the economic growth inclusive? The economist and the social expert look at the distribution of incomes and employment across the VC and its subchains at all stages. In addition, they investigate the stakeholders' involvement in the value chain's organization and governance, paying close attention to the impact of the VC on vulnerable groups such as small farmers, women, and rural workers. Income distribution and employment creation are concrete indicators of the ways in which the VC benefits households and businesses. Is the value chain socially sustainable? The social expert assesses this question with a specific tool called the social profile, looking at 6 key development concerns for policymakers: working conditions, land and water rights, gender equality, food and nutrition security, social capital, and living conditions. The expert outlines and appraises the way in which interactions between the VC actors and the general environment generate key benefits or disadvantages and improve or degrade the position of social groups and types of actors. The judgment is based on the actual situation within the country and on widely shared international development standards. Findings are graphically illustrated, giving an at-a-glance summary clearly indicating the main areas of concern. Is the value chain environmentally sustainable? The environmental expert looks at the effect of value chain operations on resource depletion, ecosystem quality, human health, climate change, and biodiversity. VCA4D uses life cycle assessment to measure impacts throughout the VC, looking at the substances consumed and emitted as products are grown, manufactured, processed, transported, and marketed. By identifying sources of damage and critical points, and by comparing different subchains, production techniques, and stages of the VC, it is possible to identify the least environmentally harmful operating practices. Finally, the experts produce a synthesis of their analysis, summarizing the answers to the framing questions to deliver a clear, accessible, readily available, and high-definition picture of the value chain. They highlight the VC's benefits and strengths, but also the risks it poses and the leverage points where interventions will have maximum effect. VCA4D's evidence-based approach provides quantitative data, qualitative information, and diagnoses and recommendations that decision-makers can turn into action with a view to promoting sustainability and inclusiveness. Available to the European Commission, to EU delegations, and to national actors and stakeholders. Each VCA4D study is a public good, providing the knowledge needed for better action and monitoring. Contact us to learn more.
I have a few more messages that I would like to pass on today. First is about how to demand for a VCA4D study. The demand for a VCA4D study comes from the EU delegation in agreement with the partner country and is then formalized centrally by DG INFA. VCA4D studies are demand-driven, and which value chain is to be analyzed is decided by the EU delegation in line with their strategy in the country. Having such a complete baseline such as a VCA4D study, fed with evidence-based data, is a very powerful instrument for policy dialogue across actors, including with the private sector. Information provided in the report can be used to select the key bottlenecks that require action, and close monitoring can be provided to see the progress towards common goals. Using a standardized methodology makes updates of the studies easier to be made, and this is an activity that we also offer within the VCA4D project. And last but not least, I would like to touch upon our capacity strengthening component that is more and more required by our partner countries. Capacity strengthening can be for decision makers so that the findings of a VCA4D studies can be better understood and they can be embedded in policies and projects. Or capacity strengthening can be for Somali experts to be able to perform analysis themselves, so that over time the number of products and value chains that can be analyzed through a VCA4D approach can be increased. I hope this short introduction to VCA4D was of interest and useful for you, and just after this presentation I'm available if you have any question. Also, after the conference, if you wish to contact us for more information, you can find our email address here, as well as the link to our Capacity for Development page, where you can find all the report and main information about VCA4D. I thank you very much for your kind attention today, and I look forward to a future cooperation.
That was good. And the last event of the day, just a couple of announcements. One related to the fact that tomorrow we're going to come together here by 8 o'clock. So we start in 8 o'clock just to recover some ground lost. And secondly, we would strongly recommend people to pick up their badges. It would be it would help us a smooth, kind of a transition into the hall, and hopefully saving time there. Experience for some people this morning wasn't great. If I also mention that for those of you who have still strength and energy left, there's an opportunity to do one last round in the booths and see if there's any additional information that you might need. And finally, let me tell you that, at least from my perspective, we've really achieved a lot today. Firstly, managing actually to bring senior leadership here to witness the signing of a new project, having booths open and exceptionists, and the president actually started his visit from there, but also the excellent presentations and discussions that we had today. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on time, 8 o'clock. But thank you very much, and have a good evening. Assalamu alaikum.